really easy, intuitive software where you can actually use your financial numbers to get that climate report that you need in under maybe 5 minutes.
Welcome to the Voice of Visma podcast, where the heartbeat of our community comes to life. Join us as we chat with Visma leaders and colleagues, sharing their stories, industry insights, and valuable career lessons.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Voice of Visma. It's great to have you with us. My name is Philip Scarampi and I am Sustainability Manager for Visma Group, where I'm helping to ensure that Visma and all of our companies are leading within sustainability. Today we will be talking about sustainability and how sustainability is driven at one of Visma's largest and most successful companies, Visma Software Nordic. And today we will be talking with the ESG Manager at Visma Software Nordic, Freja Landewall. Freja, great to have you here.
Thank you. Great to be here.
So I just wanted to start off and ask you just to give a short intro of yourself. Who are you and what's been your journey to get here?
My name is Freja. I'm 36 years old. I'm actually from Sweden, but have lived many years in Norway. I now live right outside of Oslo with my family. I have 2 daughters who are 3 and 6 years old. From an educational background, I'm actually a political scientist. And a bit by accident, I came into the headhunting industry and a bit later into HR. And that is how I entered into Visma in 2021 in an HR team. And now I work as an ESG Manager in Visma Software Nordic.
Great. Can you say a bit about Visma Software Nordic? What kind of company is that?
Yeah, we are an ERP solutions provider to medium and large-sized companies in the Nordic market. We are about 730 employees working from 11 countries, and we are the biggest organization in the Visma Group.
Okay. And I introduced you as ESG Manager, and ESG is a term that probably a lot of people are familiar with, but maybe not everybody knows exactly what that means. Can you say a bit about what ESG covers?
Yeah, of course. And ESG is simply put the same as sustainability, but by using the term ESG, we can get a more broader sense of what actually sustainability entails. So ESG contains of like 3 pillars. You have the E, which is the environmental part. And there you find like the the normal like environment topics like how much energy you use, like emissions from travel, for example, or how you handle waste, and like the overall carbon footprint that a business have. And then the second pillar is the S, which stands for social, and that is more the people part of sustainability. And that can be everything from a business to how you work with like labor laws, human rights, diversity and inclusion, for example. And then the last pillar is the G, which stands for governance. And that is all about how a business is organized, structured, and managed in order to be like compliant and transparent. So one example can be like work on anti-corruption, having anti-corruption policy, for example.
Yeah. Is governance sort of how we do the E and the S in a way, or would you say it's a bit more kind of its own category?
It can be its own category, absolutely. You have like risk management in there as well. Yeah. So, but all of these 3, of course, are combined in some way. Yeah. And it's like working with sustainability in that matter also have like a more profound impact on the business. So therefore, it's we like to brand it as ESG in terms of understanding what actually sustainability is about.
Yeah. And this ESG role that you have, what was sort of the background for the role itself? It's a fairly new role at the company, right?
Yeah, that is correct. We actually made this role for a year from a year ago, and the reason for that is I got the responsibility of the sustainability reporting part a bit also by accident, so to say. And working with that sustainability reporting, I saw that, okay, there were areas here that we didn't have anyone actually in charge of. And we know that working with sustainability actually needs a strategic and long-term perspective in order to be effective. And then we also merged our people team with our operations team. So there was some tasks that were like up in the air. And then we saw that, okay, these things that we actually want to have better control over and these new tasks coming in, we can actually brand them under the ESG umbrella, so to say. And that's how the ESG manager role was created.
Yeah. So there's, based on what you've said, it sounds like there's a lot that actually goes into this role. I mean, you've got people, you've got operations, you're covering things like carbon emissions and business travel and labor and all of these things. What does a typical day look like for you with all of these different topics? Yeah,
and it's you're kind of spot on there, because my role have many different areas of responsibility, and that also requires me to shift a lot among these roles during a day. So I can, for example, start off my day with writing on our company Slack group, like a greeting to our employees in Lithuania that it's their Independence Day, and wishing them like a great day off. And then straight from that, I can go into a meeting with our incident management group, because we have had a breach on GDPR, and just, assessing, how do we have to handle this in order to be compliant? And like in the worst case, receiving a fine or something from authorities for not being doing what's right. So I take myself often shifting from doing like really like nice, cozy things like the Slack messages to be like the brutal role of, this has to be 100% compliant. So that is also, of course, what I think is really fun about the role. And then I, of course, work a lot with reporting, both the sustainability reporting here internally in Visma, but also from like a Norwegian legislation perspective, like on the Transparency Act and diversity and inclusion also. We have some own reporting standards for that also in Norway. So, and also then what kind of activities and initiatives do you want to have internally in our company, which has to do with the sustainability part.
Yeah. Do you find that in your role you need to interface with a lot of other departments in the company in order to achieve the goals?
Yeah, a lot. Both, of course, the people team are important, and I'm part of the people team, but also operations and the ones who are working with like incidents, security, and that stuff, and also the management team in order to get them on board or having initiatives and discussion solutions for how we should run things.
I wanted to move on and talk a little bit about more tangible kind of initiatives or actions that Visma Software Nordic is doing within sustainability. Can you say a bit about what you're driving forward with your sustainability program?
Yeah, I can actually say that it's kind of twofold. We do a lot of sustainability in our products, and then we do sustainability like internally. And when it comes to our products, we have decided that we want to put like sustainability features into our products where we can. And the reason for that is that we have seen that it's a higher demand regarding to have these features from the market, but also that we feel that we as a big provider also have a responsibility for making it easier for our customers to be more sustainable. And then, of course, it's a competitive advantage for us to be able to offer these features into our products. So for now, we have in our expense management system, for example, we have a climate report, so you can see your like carbon emissions based on your expenses that you have. And we also have integrated our payroll system with an external system called Equality Check, which is a really good system where you can work with diversity and inclusion. And we also have climate reporting in our ERP solutions. And the main thought about this is if we can make like the climate reporting part as smooth as possible, then businesses have time to actually or like spend time on what actually matters. And that is, of course, initiatives that help reducing overall emissions. So yeah, that is like the product part. And what we're doing internally is, and as you mentioned, this is a new role for the last year. And we have focused a bit on structuring the work, like having an ESG framework, writing an own strategy on it, and also define what kind of focus areas we actually want to have. And then it's the internal initiatives that we have worked on. And that is, for example, we have started to communicate more, like to create cultural awareness in the company, or as this example with the Lithuanian Independence Day that we have when it's like religious or cultural and national important days, we can communicate about just to show that we are maybe a more diverse company than maybe perceived if you're just sitting like in the different locations. And we also have done some tuning on our hardware policies in order to reduce the emissions, because every time you buy a laptop or a phone, that also has an emission in it. So we have seen on how can we like reuse equipment that we already have, and also we have put like a new policy on how often you can buy a new phone. Like we had actually 2 years before, but now we have 3. And also we have put like something that we call a sustainability bonus on top of that, that if you keep your phone longer than 3 years, then you get an additional like amount of money each month you're keeping your phone. So the amount of money that we as a company cover when you buy a new phone gets higher. So then you have like a friendly, positive nudge in actually holding on to your phone a bit longer. And a different like topic that we're working on right now is also our recruitment processes. We're looking on how we can even more like change the process in being even more directed to like competency-based recruiting, and like getting all like the information that may get you biased, like information about gender or age or where you live or your picture or like stuff like that is typically something you add in your CV. How can we like get rid of all that and just get the information maybe based on like only competence questions that you answer, and based on that we can do a first screening. But this is work in project, but it's or in work in process. So this is just examples on things we're doing.
You mentioned, you talked a little bit about the reporting aspect, because, you know, at Visma Group, you know, reporting is a big task that we do. And of course, this can take a lot of time to report compliantly. But for every second that we're spending reporting and looking at data and that sort of thing, well, the data is, of course, important, but we're not actually doing work to lower emissions or improve some kind of social target that we have. But that must be really sought after by customers then, because we see that legislation is going to be increasing in sort of how strict it is for certainly for you, but even for smaller companies who are your customers. What kind of feedback are you seeing in your market about what kind of how they have received the software functionality that you've implemented?
Yeah, and I think you're a bit spot on there, because people, or a lot of like smaller companies that don't have their own resources to work with sustainability, it's often the CFO who gets like the responsibility to report. And they're like, okay, we don't know anything about this. How should we be compliant? And maybe they are just a small supplier and then reporting because their customers or their owners or something demands it. And then to have like a really easy, intuitive software where you can actually use your financial numbers to get that climate report that you need in under maybe 5 minutes. That is really been welcomed. So I think, and of course, what is coming like legislation-wise, we don't know where that will end yet. But I think, anyways, if you have to report like according to the new EU directive, you even though have to report maybe on the voluntarily standards, because the market as such, not only maybe your owners, but also your employees or the financial institutions or like other stakeholders, they will be more and more expecting of you that you actually work with this and to have like the numbers to have the numbers to read something about the trends will be of course very much important for you to know, okay, where should you actually put in your actions or not.
And then I wanted to ask you, because I'm in contact with a lot of Visma companies about sustainability, and Visma Software Nordic is I would say among the best in terms of the overall sustainability work that you're doing. What about for other companies that are maybe interested in increasing their efforts? What advice do you have for such companies?
Yeah, I would say don't make it too complex. Start with what is actually relevant for your type of business or for your company. Set off some time and just learn about the topic. It's a lot of free like webinars and articles out there just to get like a foundation on what it really entails. And then I think it is something about maybe shifting the mindset of not working with sustainability only because you have to, but actually to see it as a source for innovation. And also it's about securing that your business have sustainable growth going forward. Because working with sustainability today is so much more than just the environment part. It is actually preparing your business for the future.
So what about for employees who are maybe interested in being more engaged in sustainability or are wondering how they can contribute more in a company? What advice would you have for them?
Yeah, I think we all have heard like the basic tip, like, okay, use less energy or recycle more or don't fly. And those things are, of course, important. But I think that if you focus on, okay, what can you in your team or department do in order to make your operations a bit more sustainable? Like if you work in product development, you can look into, okay, is it possible to make this software run even more efficiently? Or if you work with, like customer events, how can you make that more sustainable? Maybe in like the locations you choose or the food you serve. And I think by having that mindset, I think it's there the true innovation actually lies, and maybe the great the new great ideas for how we should work with sustainability. It's there they can be born. So I think that is maybe something where we all can contribute into sustainability.
And that's a big advantage, perhaps being in a group of companies like Visma, where there are so many best practices that are being shared in a sort of a sustainability community. For example, to your point about if you're a software developer, how can you make things more efficient? There's a whole wealth of information out there that's only increasing as people are spending more and more time on this, because, of course, being more efficient is also, in most cases, reducing cost as well. Yes. Can you say a bit about sort of the community, the sustainability community within Visma, and how that has helped your company to innovate?
Yeah, I think that is a really, really important point, because being a part of a bigger group and having both like the structure, the strategy, the policies, and the organization as such to help you, it's really important for the sustainability work. And also to like share ideas on different topics, not only the sustainability part, but as you say, like how you develop products, is really important. So I think if you're in a company where you don't have that, of course, you have to do more on your own. But also something that I think is really good that the group also does is having, for example, the sustainability month, which helps really engage people into sustainability, both in like creating more awareness of what it is and how it works, but also that you have this social component of competitions and challenges that makes people going along for the ride, because that is really important if you want to do changes in your company, is actually to have people with you. So that is also something that I believe is very important in order to succeed with sustainability.
Great. Well, I think we'll stop it there. So just want to say thank you so much, Freja, for coming and being on the show today.
Thank you so much.
And to all the listeners, don't forget to like and subscribe wherever you are listening or watching. And also, we'd love to get feedback on the episode, so feel free to leave a comment or a review. And stay tuned for the next episode coming soon. And thanks for listening.